Hello, hello! Welcome back to Red Ted Art. Now look who we made here. My daughter and I had a brilliant sewing session at the weekend and we decided that as we went along we should film it and see if we could create a little video for you. Because of this, the lighting isn't always perfect. I'm really sorry about that. And also, sometimes my daughter did the filming. So although I think she did a great job, you know, there's the odd little bit which might be a little bit sort of wobbly or out of focus. And I hope you don't mind because I think the video is really worth watching. So we have down below, we do have a pattern for these. So if you want to use them, you can. That is the pattern. Or you can just have a look and watch us sew. Anyway, let's take a look and see what we did. So start out by cutting out your pieces. With your fin especially, make sure that you have the pattern going in the right direction for it to look really nice on your fin. You will end up with 2 fins, 4 arms, and 2 body pieces. I'm now pinning for sewing, so I'm going to pin together my tail and my body, and I'm going to also pin the arms. This will make sewing much easier and much neater. All our pieces are now ready for sewing. The arms are a great piece of sewing for Pipsqueak to have a go at. She has to sew a straight line, take out the pins, and then go round the corners. Now that's a bit tricky, so sometimes what you can do is you can lift the foot of the sewing machine and turn your sewing as you go. That really helps you get a nice neat corner in there. As you can see, I did help Pipsqueak with guiding the fabric because it is tricky and she is learning. It's very important that you snip the corners of your fabric. This will allow you to turn your arms round more neatly. You'll get rounder edges, so the snipping is a really big part. You then turn it and stuff it. Sometimes using a pencil can help you really get into the corners. Just make sure you use the back of the pencil and not the leaded bit. And once you have them all turned, you just stuff them. We left about maybe 2 centimeters at the end free because you'll need that for sewing. I then sewed the tail part to the body. The reason I did this was because we needed them to be really accurate and really aligned. Otherwise Pipsqueak could easily have sewn this. Now you need to position it. So you put one piece of your body right pattern up, then you put your arms across, and then you put the second piece of your body right side facing down. So that now the 2 right sides are facing each other. Now it's really tricky, you have to pin this, and this is fiddly. I started off by pinning the arms, and then I pinned the head and the tail. Sometimes you have to kind of trim your fabric a little bit just to make sure that it all fits really neatly. Pipsqueak and I then both sewed this, so she did the majority of it, so she sewed a lot of the tail, and again I helped guide. I sewed the bit where the arms were because it's quite bumpy and a little bit tricky, but it was a good collaborative effort and I think she really enjoyed having a go. You can see there we do have to do that lifting a foot little technique to kind of turn the tail, especially when you get to the pointy bits. So this was really fun. We chose to leave an opening on the side of the tail for turning, but you could have the top of the head, that works as well, but we thought the side of the tail was the best part to leave a gap for turning. Next, you have to snip again, so all the round bits, especially anywhere where there's a sharp corner, needs a little snip, and that will make it much easier for turning. You can see the snips there. And yes, and once you've got the snips, you turn. I started off by pulling the arms through. So once you've got those out, you can then get the head through. Sorry, the camera went a little bit off center there. And once you've got the head out, you can then turn the tail. And as with the arms, and there's a little other mermaid that we've made. That video should be around as well. Yeah, once you've got the tail, and another mermaid. We do like to see some extras here, don't we? Use a pen to help get all the little corners out, and then your mermaid body is done and it's ready for stuffing. Pipsqueak loved stuffing it. She was just saying here you want to have a nice amount in the head, then not too much in the neck because otherwise it can look really a bit weird and a bit chubby, and then she used a pen and similar to get into all the nooks and crannies. Here you can see I'm starting to decorate the mermaid. We cut out some felt shells and with some embroidery twine. That's a nice contrasting colour, so a dark blue. We did a back stitch. Now if you want to learn how to do a back stitch slowly, I've got a video up in the iCards that will show you how to do a back stitch. And I did a straight line down the middle and then two sort of at an angle on either side. And that's how easy it is to sew on the shells. You can of course go around the edges. If you do, I would probably use a clear thread. And this is how I tie off, because I know some people have often asked me what you do with your thread. So I just push my needle through one of the loops that's already there, and then as I go through it, I just pull it through the loop again, creating like a little knot. So I'm doing it again, I did it twice. So push it through, creates a little loop, put your needle through that one, and it's a little knot. Then I push my needle through the body, you can see it there, and then just snip it, and it means that the end bit of your thread disappears inside of your doll, which is really good. Isn't that adorable? Time for the hair. Wrap some yarn around a book to get even pieces, snip at one end, then lay out flat on your table, find the center by folding it in half, and tape it. And this will help you, basically, you'll see in a minute we'll sew it, but the tape will help keep it in place in the middle. And I created like a little plastic loop of tape at one end to help me pull it through the sewing machine. You can see me pulling it there. And every so often I stopped and rearranged the yarn to make it go under the sewing machine, because it kind of has a tendency to bunch up. This is fiddly. The tape helps. It's not that easy. So you probably will need a grown-up to help you do this part of the hair. Many people like using felt hair instead of woolen hair, because actually in some ways it's a bit easier. So now you can see I've got a seam, there's tape underneath and a seam on the top. I carefully removed the tape, just trimmed it off with scissors, and then positioned, so once the tape was gone, I took my doll and I tried to position the hair on the doll's head. I took some yarn, made a little knot, and then basically went over that seam that we did in the sewing machine again, but with the yarn, getting it in place on the doll's head. I have to say, I think the hair is a little bit hard. It's quite tricky to avoid bald patches, but I think if you've got a good amount of wool and you position it neatly onto your head and then sew it on the way I'm sewing it now, it does a pretty good job. So I'm just going to sew all the way from the top all the way down the back, so you can see. And then hopefully we'll have a nicely full head of hair mermaid. Then once you've done that, which I'll be finished with in a minute, you have to bunch your hairs, so bunch it on either side. This will just again help position all your hair in place. I then tied it off with some another bit of yarn, and then again sewed it into the side of the head just to give it a nice secure position. Pipsqueak then took some marker pens and drew on the face, and that is it. Your mermaid doll is finished. Isn't she adorable? And here you can see them both again. Don't forget there's a pattern in the description down below, and if you like this little sewing craft, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe as per usual, because we'd love to see you here again soon. Don't forget to keep watching and keep making, and take care. Bye!